I forgot. I don't have a mic. So I just had to set one up. Alright, babe.
We lost who? When?
A few weeks back. Torres and Evans, looking for supplies. I told you that they
No, goddammit, you didn't!
I told you that we went after them, but the entrance was caved in. Their bikes were outside, but the place was crawling. Do you remember? I don't even know if they made it inside.
What's the trouble? We're going over the papers, the ones from Sherman's camp. There's a mine that was getting ready to expand.
Sure, and there's probably explosives stored on site.
So I wasn't too sure exactly what I was wanting to do, so it took me a minute to get settled in and figure out if I had the gumption to turn on a game. I figured no matter what I was playing, I'd have the opportunity to talk to you for an hour or so or more before you get busy. So I had to set my microphone up, get that working.
Except now Skizzo tells me we may have lost 2 men on the inside.
Hey, I never said that, Mike.
Well, look, give me the map. I'll go get the explosives and
Mike,
I'll
hey,
get people
Will.
inside. What the hell's going on?
You may trust him, Mike, but I don't. Tell me, how much is Tucker paying for a box of TNT these
You know
days?
what, you hold on. He's doing his part.
Oh, really? He's doing what? Besides breaking the treaty with the Rippers, skipping work, staying out with Ricky all day, what's he been doing, huh?
What you been doing, huh? Sitting on your ass while everyone does all the work.
I keep this camp safe. From marauders, thieves, and drifters.
You knock it off. Knock it off! Hey, you don't trust him? You go with him. You remember something. Both of you, remember, we are all part of the same camp.
That's fine. Fine by me. In the morning, we'll take our bikes and we'll go.
We'll go right now.
I've already seen this.
Deke, I guess I'm just making sure he's not going to have some kind of accident down in that mine.
Jesus. Who do you think I am?
I'm still trying to figure that out. See you when you get back.
Son of a bitch.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, you want to be careful doing that. Where my bike is. Yeah, so you had a lot of boxes you were pulling out there. A lot of product. 10 pounds of bakery shoved in a 5-pound bag. Right. That's good.
Where are we going?
Lucky lad, know where it is?
Yeah. I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah, try to keep up.
Deacon, you there? This is
Oh,
Love.
that's right, this controller. I forgot. This controller's broken. This shit doesn't work. Lame. Oh, there we go. Now my throttle will work.
West Lake Camp, over.
Yeah, Ricky, what's up?
I stopped by to see you. Obviously, you're not there.
Skizzo and I are on a run for Iron Mike. I'll be back by morning. What's up?
I just wanted to see when we could get out, fix that transformer.
That hot shower still calling your name?
Something like that.
We'll be back by morning. Talk then. Deacon out.
I don't want to dill pickle. Just want to ride my motorcycle. Run, 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 run. Fun things to do with friends.
Got sidetracked.
I like long walks on the beach, zombie killing, drinks with little umbrellas in them.
So these belong to Mike's men?
My men.
No, I don't need to
Yeah.
replace it. I've got
Or as an evidence.
several. It's just
They
an
were
old
drifters,
one
but they'd been
that
out
I've
in the
had
shit
for a
in
long
Kentucky. They
time,
could
and the
handle
trigger's worn out. I could probably take it apart and even replace the trigger for $5 or $6.
Goddamn scavengers everywhere.
Skizzo, why wouldn't you bring their shit back with you when you were out here?
It's no big deal.
Because there were too many freaks. That's why. Like them. Only a lot more. Come on.
No, dear, I definitely don't need any more video game stuff.
Somewhere inside the office. Fucking newts. God, I hate those little suckers.
We finally agree on something.
Thank you. Get up there. Oh, snap.
Hey, over here. I think I can boost you onto this roof.
Newts. I have to kill newts. She turned me into a newt.
Yep.
Up you go.
Newt. Oh, I got better.
That's it. Ha! Bounty.
That was a nest. It's not good. Watch your eyes, newt. Yes. Silly muggles. Splatting the newts.
I think that's all of them.
And some newt juice. I got a little newt juice on me.
Thanks for asking. Come on. Okay. Whew. Okay. Yes.
Alright, bubblegum and buzzsaw blades. That's exactly what we need for the apocalypse. Not even quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Get the keys. I see. Do we have here?
There. Skizzo! I got him.
Great, great. Look around. See if you can find some flares.
Wait a second. You didn't bring a flashlight?
Yeah, but the batteries are dead. Shit's getting hard to find these days. At least ones that have any juice left.
Flares. Skizzo! I found a box of flares.
Yeah, see if you can force open the door. I'll come in and grab them.
Flares are over here.
Yeah. Give me the keys.
What, you mean like these keys?
Yeah, hand them over.
Hey, I got an idea. How about you lead us to the strong boxes? I'll unlock them. You got a problem with that?
No problem. Just don't lose them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
No, this is Deacon St. Job
Right behind
or Deacon St. John. I'm going to finish this before I finish Death Stranding. Yeah, the chiral network. That's Kojima-san's game. That's Death Stranding. Yep. And then when I finish that, I'll go and finish Death Stranding, and that'll be, I think, most every game I have I'll have finally completed. I just had a few I hadn't. Beaten. Our hero is a member of a motorcycle gang who was trapped in the West Coast, up in the Northwest, during the zombie apocalypse. And now he's trying to survive in the wake of losing his
See?
wife
Just like I said.
Looks
and
we should
almost
be
his
able to
brother.
squeeze in through here. Give me a hand. Here, push.
I'm pushing.
There. Wedge it against that boulder.
Got it.
There.
Looks stable to you?
Stable enough.
The quest at hand is we're going to seal off a passageway which we believe is allowing
Remember, keep your
the
gun
undead into
holstered.
the valley.
I thought you said it was gonna be clear.
I never said that. And I mean it. If there are any freaks in here, one shot will bring them right down on our heads.
I heard you already. Jesus.
I need these.
Okay, first expansion area is right off the main shaft.
I am looking forward to finishing
Shit, we're not getting none of that.
Death
Look at the map.
Stranding.
Is there another tunnel? A ventilation shaft?
Map shows.
I've had very little drive to do any social gaming lately, and honestly, I don't feel any desire for much at the moment. So I don't feel much impulse to be sociable at all, period, right now, frankly. I like people. I like human beings. But I often get to points where I don't really want to talk to them. Well, I'm glad you enjoy that. Glad you liked it. It did keep me pretty busy, didn't it? Well, right now it's particularly quiet. You know I do like my dark stillness of the morning. Oh, I know. I know you. You don't complain about it. You don't ever say anything about it very much. Occasionally you'll mention that you would like to get my nose out of the game for a few minutes. Not so much, though, not often. Once in a while. Dream a little dream. I do like the still and the quiet, and at the moment there's a slightly cool breeze on the back of my neck, and that feels particularly nice. As strange as that may sound. I think this is the quietest I've heard my house since the last time I was up at 2 or 3 in the morning. And there's no stereos. There's no annoying Honda tips. No ambulances. I think I distantly heard a train a little bit ago. There aren't people driving up and down my street very fast or construction work going on a block down the street. The hobos and the heroin addicts are all gently tucked neatly in their beds, with dreams of sugar plum fairies dancing merrily through their heads. And the crackheads, and the pimps, and the working girls, and the wimps. I like your sugar plum, baby. That's what I like. That's different. I do enjoy a good pushki. You feel free to bring me home any delicious pushkis which you find are subpar. You know, if you accidentally make some subpar pushki, I'd be happy to dispose of those properly in the safety containment field known as my tummy. Well, I've accomplished one of my missions. Although it's not nearly as much fun when you're giggling there and I have to be here because I can't hear you giggle. And you know how much I love a good plum. I run mini shirts with my face on a plum. I don't necessarily even care about playing this game actually at the moment, but I will sit here and talk to you. Who knows, maybe I'll snore or something eventually, and then you can be comforted by the sounds of my sleep apnea and my deviated septum. I do have to warn you, though, if I spend an hour or two here just talking to you in a somewhat one-sided conversation, I will exceed my 500 words a day maximum usage of the English language, and then we'll probably be quiet on you when you get back. I'm sure it's not easy to love my snore. Somebody's got to do it. You have too many words. Yes, I'll still ooze you. Fine, I'll talk to you with my hands. My mouth will be too busy to use English anyway. From eating, of course. Nom nom nom. Nom nom nom. Nom nom. When do I actually not ooze you? You know, I know sometimes I pretend like I'm not going to, but I have never seriously once ever been like, no, get away from me, woman. Ever. And I didn't think I'd ever been mean or rude to you. Although I don't know, I drink, and sometimes I don't exactly remember all of my behavior from the night before, so if I ever have directly put you off, then I apologize. Oh, you got my nam. It's nom nom. Alright, I got you. I got you. So, this is one of these would you rather situations. Would you rather a man who will tell you what you want to know and won't ooze you, or would you rather have a man who doesn't talk and will ooze you all you want? Because I can make either of those happen. I can just be quiet and ooze you. Okay. Well, figured I should ask. If I don't ask, I won't know. I know I've gotten drunk plenty of times around you, so I'm just making sure. I'm not really a mean person. I don't like conflict. That's probably why I'm so agreeable with individuals, because I typically don't want to fight with people, so I'll just say whatever because, you know, and that's unfortunate because people have a tendency to take advantage of that. Oh, you'll stick with what you have. Okay. I'm not honest to a fault, but I'm certainly honest with you, my dear. I do not engage in deceptions. And I can't tell you that's a very free feeling. It's a life without fear. To live a life with candor and truth. No matter what happens to me, that won't change. And I take peace and comfort in that. Much as I take peace and comfort in your sweetness, in your loving embrace, in your warm company and kind care in my times of need and want. Time flies when you're having fun. I've already been doing this for 40 minutes. Well, that's a win-win. It's definitely a win-win. See, I'm, I'm conserving words. Maybe if I say less, it'll mean more. If only we all said the right things at the right time in our lives. I suppose few of us have the luxury of always saying the right things. And probably even rare so the people who know what to say and when to say it all the time. The screen is very red. This paused screen with the guy holding his magnesium flare up and he like looking at blood. It's like The Shining. That boy, he's special. He's got the shining. Well, I've been saying those three little words like I'm trying to wear them out. Not that I didn't before, I just felt like smothering you a bit on that one. Who knows, maybe that chubby little baby with the wings shot me or something. Maybe I'm Twitter pated. I'm Twitter pated and acting like Thumper. Well, Jay. Is this conversation getting too heavy? Sometimes I feel like I'm always saying shit that's too heavy or something. I don't mean to be too serious. Oh. Hmm. Oh, you do, huh? Well, I don't know. I guess that depends on how much real estate I occupy in your world. Okay. Well, I'll keep talking to you then. Well, I'm not being so serious that I'm not inclined to have a good laugh too. I am being kind of quiet though, because again, it's late at night, so I'm not being very boisterous. I figure quiet words, quiet subjects. So if I have to talk a little softer, I might as well have a softer subject to talk about. Woman, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at sarcasm, obviously. Maybe it's not sarcasm that I'm doing. Maybe I'm just being an asshole. We should just replace sarcasm with asshole. Yeah, Domine. Deoski. Sabido. In excelsis Deo. Espiritus. Well, if I occupy all those spaces, then all those spaces will occupy me back. And you'll need not worry about keeping me one way or the other. I'm a little dysfunctional in the reciprocation department, you know? So, that's just how that works. I will have so many relationship problems in my life. At least I can be honest about it. It's a bit of a mental paradox there about being honest with yourself and saying, well, you know, I may tell fibs to everyone else, but I won't lie to myself. But if you were lying to yourself, you wouldn't tell yourself you were lying to yourself, because that would be telling yourself the truth, and then that wouldn't be lying to yourself. It's like the three doors in the labyrinth. The one with the two heads, one on the top and one on the bottom. And they're like, he's a liar. No, he's a liar. Would I lie to you? I would never lie to you. No, you didn't miss anything. I'm just rambling to myself because I'm insane. Pay no fucking attention to the man behind the curtain. You didn't miss anything. The gears inside my head that grind away and allow me to function were squeaking loud enough that it reverberated out my pie hole. And I thought of a paradox, so I just kind of mentioned it. It's like a paradox in pathology. Well, I do like sugar plums. Yeah, kiss me. Give me your lips, baby. Oh, I see. I was thinking about being delusional, lying to oneself. That's what I was thinking about. And in retrospect, I do not recall how I got to that leap, but that's what popped into my head. And yeah, Yeah, see, you do. You need to smooch these sort of weird things out of my brain so that I don't have strange, conflicting statements just bubbling out of my mouth. That would not be as much fun at parties as it would seem. Man. So quiet. I love it. It's probably loud. It's probably loud there where you are, but it's so quiet here. I wonder if as I get older I'll revel as much in the quiet as I did when I was younger. Maybe someday the quiet will be painful and the long silences will hang in the air. And all I hear is you and the peace of your heart. You make sure you're wearing your mitts. You wear your mittens, kitten. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want you to get burned. And, the right burn on your palm, and your hand's functionality could be severely reduced. Because getting that scar tissue out of your palm is not going to be an easy feat. So, not that you would burn yourself, but let's not push it, right? Oh, I'm yawning like crazy now. Markdowns, woohoo! Yay! Mm. You never really came off to me as being very klutzy. Not to say that you're wrong or anything, but I never got that vibe from you. You seem pretty light on your feet a lot of times. Especially when we first met. You were still really happy and bubbly, so you were often tiptoeing to me and jumping at me. Oh, yeah. Always happy to see you too, baby. Always happy to see you too. Can't stop yawning. Vacation ideas? Oh, things to do in Alaska. Well, there are a lot of cool things to do in Alaska. There are some interesting train rides that you can take. Um, there are some really nice coastal regions that you can go and see. Um, some of those places, they don't stay warm for very long, um, so the hunting and the fishing in Alaska is, the season on it is pretty quick, and it's not for the faint of heart. The caribou runs are a little later in the year, so that's getting into the winter time. And I'm pretty sure you can hunt those. I know there are some Inuit guides that you can charter with, and the Inuit they have like lodges that you go to where they will help you ice fish, and then you can do caribou hunts there with the indigenous people. And there are some places that you can fly in with some of the water planes. There's some interesting like marshy areas in some parts there in Alaska, and you fly in with water planes, and they've got some like those fan boats that they have in Florida, because it's kind of like an Everglade kind of, except it's cold and colder. And then again, it's places to go for fishing and hunting. There's a lot of different things to go see. In Hawaii, there are the observatories on the Sacred Mountain, and you can hike up the mountain or do horseback riding. So you go to the island, and then you charter with either a group, or you can probably go to like solo ranches, and then you know, saddle up your horse, and then they have trails, and you ride the trails. I know they have day trips for that. They may even have like overnighting rides that you can do. And they have the black sand beaches. where it's the black volcanic sand. I don't know, I'd always wanted to snorkel and scuba dive. I'd love to go see some of the great reefs of the world and do some scuba or some snorkel. I always thought that would be fantastic. And I mean, there's all the stuff in the Mediterranean. Nice. You're lucky. It seems like it would be fun, to... Nowadays, baby, they have these little bullets that they give you. And that bullet, it's a like turbine. It's like a fan. And then you press a button on the side and the fan goes and it will pull you through the water. So you don't even have to... And you just need your regular foot fins, and it will drag you right along, full gear, zip you right along. Getting around a lot easier. And you can charter boats all over the world. I mean, you can charter fishing tours, or, just say you want to island hop. You can charter a boat to island hop. I don't know if anyone offers like boat weddings. You can charter that kind of stuff. I'm sure somebody does somewhere. It would be cool to see some of the coast of Australia. They've got some nice vineyards. There's some nice wine in Australia. And of course it'd be cool to see, the Italian countryside, or it would be nice to see maybe the French countryside, or you see the Alps. I gotta admit, I would like to go see Amsterdam and see the canals. Ride a gondola in Venice. Although I'm told those gondola drivers have a tendency to mac on dudes, women. Even cuckold and weird shit like that. Go see the Parthenon. Apparently Egypt is just not safe anymore for tourism. That's a shame. Be cool to go see the street markets in Morocco or Singapore. Go to... Oh yeah, you've seen all this stuff. So there's a place in Japan that the moonlight reflects just right off of a waterfall, and it creates a rainbow in the night from the light of the moon, just like it does in Kentucky at Cumberland Falls. I always thought it would really be cool to go there and see the moonbow, and I'm not sure exactly where it's at. For some reason my mind says Osaka, but I don't think that's even close. But I'm pretty sure they have one there. It would be cool to ride the bullet train and go to Neon Alley. It would be cool to go and see the countryside and see some of the temples. See the Shogun's palace. Oh, don't sell yourself short, darling. You had a wonderful life experience and it touched you deeply, and you talk about it with fondness all the time about the great time you had both in the choir before, during your trip, and still to this day in fond memory. You know exactly what you're experiencing, and it has always brought you a lot of joy and pride. You're obviously proud of your accomplishment, and you should be proud. It was something worth doing and something enjoyable, and you did it well, and it took you to wonderful places. It'd be cool to go see the whales in Alaska. I know they charter boats that do whale tours there. That would be cool. You know, I wouldn't mind going to like Toronto. It's such a famous city around the world. It would be interesting to go and see Toronto and look at the shops and yeah, I would love to see the whales too. That was something I wanted to do when I was a kid. I really wanted to. Okay. I mean I'll go with you anywhere. Anywhere you want to go, I'll go. It's it's a pretty famous city. A lot of people talk about Toronto. We could do recreational smokage there, actually. Just couldn't bring it back or anything, of course. I would like to go see Niagara. I would like to go see Angel Falls. And it'd be cool to see some of the nature reserves in some of the southern parts of Africa. I wouldn't mind going and seeing the jungle in Africa either, some of it, but that's not a very safe place. I'd love to see the Great Canal in Panama. I'd like to see the War Museum at Guadalajara. I would love to travel through the Andes and go see all the great Latin temples from the Inca and the Aztec. See like Machu Picchu and Pumapunku and Quetzalcoatl's Temple of the Sun. There are some really interesting things in the high altitude plateaus of Peru that would be cool to go see. There's the limestone formations at the giant crater lake. They actually have a freshwater seahorse that lives at the top of this lake that's on the top of this giant mountain. That's either an asteroid crater, or it's a volcanic like caldera from like some super volcano. But it's huge too. So it's a really, really big lake. And there's this freshwater seahorse, this very large seahorse that inhabits this lake at this high elevation, way, way, way up above sea level. And not far from there, there are all these giant limestone formations, and statues, faces that are carved in these giant limestone rocks. And I wouldn't mind probably seeing some places in the Mexico coastlines. I although some of those places are getting pretty rough too. It's not as easy to be a tourist in some of those places it used to be. It'd be cool to go see the Great Wall and see the Chinese step pyramids. Yeah. And that's one of those things, like if you had a boat, you could go to Guadalajara, you could go right through the Panama Canal. You would, actually, if you're trying to traverse from the East Coast to get over to the California side, so that you could be in like the peninsula, and then Mexicali, and then the coastline on the west. You would go through the Panama Canals, and then you'd pass right by Guadalajara, and you could see the war memorials, and um, all the coastal towns and the towns along the canal. You just stop and get local food and local ingredients. Shop pretty locally. And I'm pretty sure they actually do a like a cruise tour that you can take, that will actually cruise you through the Panamanian Canal, and that will take you by all those same things. And you can get out and do like bus tours. I actually think you can see sloths. So if you were to go through that region, there's areas that have sloths that you'll see out in the roads. So when you go into town, or you take like a bus tour because you're going to go to some place like a hot spring or a lookout, and you ride on this bus tours, and they'll have the sloths down there. I love you. There is a place in Asia and I believe it's in these open sea in northern China. There's an open sea, and there's these islands that are like really tall. Like the island itself is like a mountain kind of that like pokes up out of the water, and they're like sprinkled throughout this inland sea. And there's all these villages that are like floating. Oh, well, if I was there, I could take care of that hot honey glaze. Oh, did it burn you? That's different. I thought you just said honey glaze, and then I read it, and it said hot, and then I was like, ouch. I guess that would be the only reason why you'd be like, ugh, you gotta be careful, woman. Maybe I said something and distracted you, and you like burnt yourself. Oh. Oh, pecan pans, ouch. Yeah, nothing like hot sugar right out of the oven, or candied when you're caramelizing sugar. It's like getting hot tar thrown on your skin. You know, if I could just do whatever, a um, like a pilgrimage, I could just go see all the great Christian temples and relics. That would be interesting too. Some of the cathedrals across the world are amazing. If you can't use, don't you guys have like pliers or something? Like, don't they have like the pan grip handle things? Do you know what I'm talking about? It like almost is like a pair of pliers, but it's meant to grab like deep dish pans. They should have those. Hmm. Well, there's actually some kind of cool sites in Ohio that might even be good to see. That would be too far away from us. Oh yeah, the cathedrals. Yeah, we go to Jerusalem, see the great temples. Um, you can go see all the great Christian cathedrals. Scotland has some beautiful hand-built monastery there. I know Italy has some that are famous for pilgrimage, where like supplicant side of this beautiful mountain, and it's like carved in the side, and people make pilgrimage where they'll climb up this mountain to go to it, um, and it's pretty impressive. And saints that are revered. Um, And I mean, there's so many of those all over the world, like countless ones. Especially in the Middle East, there's some that have survived since um, not only Jesus' time, but even later into the Crusades. There's holy sites that you can go to, still see. Although some places, when you start getting more towards Turkey and Syria, things obviously get a little unpleasant. But there's still a lot of Christian sites all across the world that are stunning, and some of them require a decent amount of chutzpah to get to. You got to actually want to get to some of these places, and that's by design. That's the point and purpose of pilgrimage, isn't it? So, if you're just looking for religious sites, that's a whole different ballgame. I mean, it would be really cool to see places like Stonehenge, or the Giza Plateau, um, or some of the South American sites for other religious purposes. I mean, like Valley of Kings or Tepe. I don't. It would be cool to go see Britain, but I don't. Honestly, I don't feel a great draw to Britain. I would feel more inclined to want to see Latin America or Asia over Britain. If if I had to assign all the places of the world in a list, I suppose, in order of what I would want to see, I think Britain would probably be a little bit lower on that list. Guy can dream. And there's actually a lot of really cool places in America to go that I just haven't been to and seen since I was a child. But that would always be cool to go to. Um, that I guess those places would have to come after Big Ben and all that, Parliament and London Tower and those such things first. Karnak. Hmm. Or by vacation ideas, did you mean something more specific, like, let's see here. So, like sipping mimosa from a balcony for breakfast in Venice while we look down on the street below and oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I only asked because before, I know last night I was just talking about beaches because that's what popped in my mind when you were laying on me. Because it's just gloomy and poopy here, so I was like, oh, it would be to get some nice golden sunshine. Tan in those hot buns of yours. Mm. Oh, okay. Or we could be wrapped up in furs on the floor in front of a marble fireplace in the chateau in the Swiss Alps. Or driving a really nice car down the Autobahn with the top down and the wind in our hair, playing loud music and laughing. Or maybe laying in a hammock together. Nice ocean breeze, sound of seabirds. Oh, damn. That's so funny. It sounds almost cliche. It's almost corny. It's very cute, though. That's very cute, dear. I'm glad to help you with some sensory, imaginative things. Yeah, maybe we could go. Maybe watching a shuttle launch. Do that. That would be a fun thing to do. Or we could spend a night in our bungalow tree house, way up in the air, listening to the haunting call of howler monkeys in the morning. Awesome. That makes me happy. I like making you laugh. It's a nice sound. Making you laugh sounds much better than howler monkeys. Uh, let me revise that. Spending the night in our bungalow tree house, listening to you laugh, while sipping wine, eating fruit from the region, like fresh grapes and bananas, star fruit, kiwis, mangoes, and then have breads and cheese, maybe some fish. Candlelights. May sound silly, but I do kind of think of those things sometimes. It's a nice sentiment. It's actually nice to dream. It occasionally gives me warm tinglies to imagine those sort of things. And I guess that's kind of, well, that's not really embarrassing, but it's also not generally the sort of thing that a grown man tends to say on a public forum at 3 o'clock in the morning. Usually what a man is saying over the internet at 3 o'clock in the morning is, I think I had a little bit too much to drink. Can I touch your butt? Why not you let my friend Joe? And I'll take a kale whackadilla and 3 chicken vaginas, please. And that burn your asshole sauce, what is that? Oh yeah, fire sauce, that's right. Oh yeah, awful. Damn. Damn, I should have never brought that up. I could actually go from some scattered, flattered, chopped, chunked, flip flop, splattered, whacked, whatever all the adjectives for cheese, ham, onions, jalapenos that they put inside their hash browns. Oh yeah. And then, oh, chocolate chip waffles, with butter, maple syrup, turkey sausage, and some eggs, and the toast. Damn. You know, it would be awesome just to travel the world and try all the food. Just the food alone would be just as great as going and seeing the places. Yeah, that is cool. Mm. Then there's all the places here in the US we could go. We could go to Yellowstone and see all the hot springs and watch the geysers. Go see bears, moose, see the great limestone cliffs, mountains. Go to the Grand Canyon and do white water rafting or take a horseback or a donkey tour that'll ride us down into the canyon and back out again. Could go to Vegas. Just go do stuff in Vegas. Go gamble. Watch a show. Go see the deserts of Southern California, or go spend time in the Smoky Mountains, get a cabin down there, and go to Renfro Valley, or we could go to the lava fields outside of St. Helens. Go see the Three Sisters. Yeah, we go to Nogal. Sure, babe. Go to Austin. Yeah. I could have swore I've seen the place where Billy the Kid was killed or shot somewhere. Well, it's one of those famous outlaws. Like, you can go still see the bullet hole in the wall, and like they haven't changed the house one bit. It's still exactly the same, and you can go in there and see like the bullet holes in the wall. Could have swore it was Billy the Kid, but now that I think back, I'm not sure. Go see the Arch. I mean, you could go to St. Louis and go up in the Arch. See the world's largest McDonald's. We could go see some of the Native American lands. Go camp out under the stars. I wouldn't mind seeing Carlsbad Caverns. That would be cool. And then we could go see LA together and San Diego, and we could go visit my grandpa's house in Sacramento, and then go on up to San Francisco, and we could see Golden Gate and go to Alcatraz, and then head up north to see the Redwood National Forest. We can go up there, and I'll go anywhere after anything you want to do. we could go to Memphis and cross the river and go to the National History Museum. And then we could go to New Orleans, go to Bourbon Street, listen to Zydeco and have some Creole, and then you can give me a jazz funeral, a mock jazz funeral, and we could go see the historical district, see all the French style historical homes. Of course, I could be endlessly happy riding horseback through Montana and laying in meadows and chewing on tall grass with you while looking up at the blue sky and saying, "That cloud looks like a turtle. That cloud looks like a shark." That cloud looks like the front end of a 1957 Harley Davidson Fat Boy super trike. Super. We could go to Mackinac in the summer, and we could take the ferry over to Mackinac, and then we could, take a nice horse carriage ride across the island. Have a nice picnic in a park. Maybe stay at a bed and breakfast for a night or two in the island, and come home. I'd like to bow fish all over the place. Like, if I could just travel the world, I would try and take my bow with me. You can hunt with the right bow, you could hunt just about anything in the world. There's only a few things you're not going to want to try and take down. You're not going to take down a African water bison, or you're not going to want to try and go take a grizzly with carbon fiber bolt. Well, I don't know, crossbow you could probably get you a grizzly with a crossbow. It might kill you first before it dies, but yeah, bowfish in the rivers of Texas or streams of Pacific Northwest or rivers of South America. And bowfish in the coral reefs or in the crystal blue waters of the Caribbean. Yeah, it does. I mean, it may sound like kind of, I don't know, maybe that's a bit of a weird idea, for your wife to say, "Oh, think of things for us to go do," and I'm like, "Okay, let's go ride horses and shoot." And I don't say that like you wouldn't like that necessarily. I mean, maybe you would really like that, but it just struck me as that's probably not a very common suggestion. Like if you went around it, like if this was Family Feud, I don't think that would be high up on the survey results. But what do I know? Family Feud surprises me all the time. Hmm. I suppose it would always be fun to maybe just follow some band around for a summer too. Or maybe it'd be cool to go to one of those really big European. Oh, duh. Burning Man. I would like to go to Burning Man and have access to whatever performance enhancements that I might desire. And just go and just while out. Just blah, 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 blah. That would be cool. It would be cool to go to that giant role playing game where you get to like dress up as like a wizard and like go play through a giant theme park. You get to be a wizard. I could be a wizard, hey. That would be cool. Oh, crap. I would like to go. I would like to go to some MMA fight with you just so I can see you screaming at people for their blood. I think that would be hot. You watch, I'm gonna get me a heavy bag again one of these days. I actually think we threw one away in the dump like a year or so ago when me and Gabe were cleaning out the garage. I actually think I threw my old one away, but I think it had gotten like moldy or something. I think in the move got wet and oh yeah, yeah. Jesus. Your thirst for blood knows no bounds. But I don't know. It was fun having the beer and watching the fight, the welterweight fight we were watching the other night. That was fun. So I think sometime, just one ideas of things. Sometime maybe it'd be fun to go, see a fight with you. Watch a good boxing fight or some MMA or something sometime. Of course, I wouldn't mind going and seeing a Broadway show or something like that with you either. Go see a concerto. Could always get into that. I would like to take you to a fine art museum, maybe sometime. We could just go and stare at paintings like they did in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And then after that, we can go to the strip club, smoke cigars at the casino, and dip the ends of our cigars in our cognac and smack the waitress's ass when she walks by. Or waiters. Oh, you stupid fucking hiccups. There's actually an entomology themed bed and breakfast in Japan where they have a large private insect collection and they actually have like an insect specimen vending machine and that you go there and it's like a museum like dedicated to entomology and it's a bed and breakfast too. So that's fun. Hmm. Oh, dang. I don't know, I could probably keep thinking of things. Let's go ride ostriches. I hear they have ostrich riding. So when I go hunt African water buffalo, I can go ride an ostrich too. Hell, those buffalo will kill you. Shoot them, they'll still kill you. They're notorious for killing people after they've been shot. And the buffalo will run right over and trample you to death. Maybe we shouldn't do that. And I mean, there's hippos. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Just forget ostrich riding. We could go do walkabouts. We could do the walkabouts in New Zealand or Australia. It would be amazing to go to the Galapagos and just see the wildlife in the Galapagos. The birds alone have an array of just feather markings with incredible diversity. And some will be so subtly different that it's very hard to distinguish them as separate from their relatives in the species. And they're just on the other side of the island, whatever little particular island that bird is on. And some of them do these crazy displays and dances where they'll make themselves look like things completely different than a bird by puffing their feathers out or shining these little like hanging things that will hang off, and they'll like flick them and they'll make like flashing lights, or and some don't even do that at all. They just build really crazy nests. And there's the iguana and lizards and crabs of all different sizes and types. New Zealand would just be cool to see. I think New Zealand has every sort of biome. Like it has tundras, and it has boreal forests, and it has open plains and meadows, and it has mountainous ranges, and it has frozen tundra and beaches. And it would be cool to go see the swallows of Capistrano, or the migration of the monarch butterfly in Mexico, where it aggregates in that forest. There are some beautiful Catholic monasteries there. And there'd be some cool places to go see in India and Malaysia. Be some interesting things to do though, although those places are starting to get a little bit more dangerous for tourists to be traveling through the land of the yogi. And then there's Tibet. The earth's great fist thrust up at the heart of the great continents. The peak where all the clouds break and pours all the rains into India. Leaving Mongolia a barren wasteland in some places. Love to hear the wolves of Canada. Be kind of cool to go out in the Canadian wilderness and hear the wolves out there at night. Or get them in Yellowstone. That'd be cool. See the manatee in Florida. dolphin pods off the coast. See the sea otter in the kelp fields. And you know you want to see some sloths. 2 and 3-toed sloths. You know it. That'd be cool. See the moose. I don't know, people always want to see great cities, and I don't know. I can think of some cities and some places that I'd probably really like to see, but a lot of times it's not so much cities that stand out in mind. People are like, I want to go somewhere, or I want to do something, and they're like, let's go to the Big Apple, and or let's go to Miami. Let's go to LA and see the Boardwalk of Stars. There are some pretty cool cities that got some pretty wild stuff going on. I mean, Dubai's got some really interesting things going on with some really cool gardens and impressive commercial and luxury properties, and some pretty high-tech infrastructure in Dubai going up too. So it'd be cool to see. It'd be And Sydney's probably a pretty cool city. I mean, Australia's an interesting country. A lot of interesting wildlife there. Um, the inner portions of the country is pretty hardcore. You know, Sydney's got the beaches and the opera house, and sure it's got some other pretty cool cultural and entertainment things to do there. It'd probably be a fun one to visit. There's probably some interesting things in Germany, and I don't know exactly what I'd want to go see there. I guess Oktoberfest would be fun. It would be cool to maybe go to Germany and drink beer from a stein and Watch them pack schnuff up their nose and drink schnapps. That could be entertaining. Have a Nachtwurst and I think Russia's too cold. You gotta draw the line with Siberia, I'm afraid. They have polar bears, and I don't think you're gonna dig the polar bears. You know, it's like it's saying Alaska and taking a caribou in the winter. I mean, that's hardcore. You have to be in pretty damn good shape. Even with snowmobiles. I think fucking riding snowmobiles for 4 hours doesn't take a toll on your legs and your arms. You're kidding yourself. Salmon fishing up there would be cool, though. I think if I did go up in the summertime or so, I'd want to look to getting closer to one of the spawning times, which can also be dangerous depending on where you're at in bear country. But you can also carry just about any damn firearm you want up there, and no one's gonna say shit. People openly walk around with their firearms, but they need to. So there's that. No, I'm getting dinged. Oh, they did. Uh, yeah, you are. That's true. Where's my controller here? day. It's almost 5 a.m. I can always restart this, restart it, and then it'll refresh the chat. Oh, sweet. My phone says I am good for another month. Here, I'll restart it, and then your commentary will start back up.